Welcome back again to the ABC Summer Fun and Games Predictions 2025. Today we'll talk about new game show revivals and ideas. Last year I made a video of how classic concentration, Hollywood Squares, the Newlywed Game, and my personal favorite, Sale of the Century, should be revived on ABC. Since I'm a psychopath about what happened last year, CBS revived Hollywood Squares on May of last year. The only shows that needed to be revived left is Concentration, Newlywed Game, and Sale of the Century. You can watch my last year's prediction in the description below. This year, let's talk about more new revivals that I wanted to see on ABC. Our first game show that needed to be revived is Win Ben Stein's Money. This time, it's hosted by Jeff Dunham, an American ventriloquist and comedian, and co-hosted by Tree of the Insult Comic Dog. For now, this show could have been called Win Jeff Dunham's Money. This show used to be on Comedy Central back in '97, and surprisingly they had Jimmy Kimmel at the time. That's before Jimmy Kimmel Live. Well, let's talk about their format. Here's how this works in round 1. Originally, the game begins with 3 contestants and $5,000 in the host's bank, but due to inflation, why not $25,000? 5 categories are available for contestants to choose from, with pun-laden titles hinting at the question's content. After a contestant chooses a category, its value is revealed to $50, $500, or $750, and the host asks a toss-up question open to all 3 contestants. Higher valued categories are more difficult. If a contestant rings in and answers correctly, the question value is added to the score and deducted from the host's bank. An incorrect response carries no penalty, but allows the other 2 contestants a chance to ring in. The contestant who answers the toss-up is then asked a follow-up question worth $250. If no one rings in and answers the toss-up question incorrectly, the $250 follow-up question is asked as a toss-up as well. Once both questions has been asked, the category is removed from play and a new one substituted in its place. The contestant who gave the last correct answer to that point chooses the next category. The co-host wants the contestants when there are 2 minutes left in the round. Once time runs out, the lowest scoring contestant is eliminated and their total is returned to the host's bank. If there's a tie for low place, one last toss-up is asked. An incorrect response allows the opponent to advance by default. As a running gag, the host often pokes fun at rival quiz show Jeopardy, given the similarities of formats between both shows. As such, any contestant who accidentally responds in the form of a question is made to wear a dance cap for the rest of the round. Let's talk about round 2. The host replaces the eliminated contestant and turns over question asking duties to the co-host, who always states that the host has no advanced knowledge of any questions that are used from that point forward. This round is played similarly to the first, with some little changes. The host chooses the first category to start the round, and the values are increased to $1,000 to $2,500, in increments of $500. Each category consists of a single toss-up question with no follow-up. If the host answers correctly, his bank total remains unchanged. His podium, which is always on the far right, always displays a $ sign instead of his total. The co-host announces a 1-minute warning before the round ends. When time runs out, the lowest scoring contestant is eliminated, forfeiting all money won, which is returned to the host's bank. In the event of a tie, a toss-up tiebreaker is asked, with the host not participating. The highest scoring contestant keeps all money won and advances to the bonus round for a chance to win the entire $25,000. Lastly, I want to talk about the bonus round, known as Best of 10 Test of Knowledge. In the bonus round, the Best of 10 Test of Knowledge, both the host and the winner of the second round are placed in isolation booths so that neither can hear the other's answers. The contestant has the choice of playing first or second. The person playing first is given 60 seconds to answer a total of 10 questions and can pass if he or she chooses to do so. However, questions which are passed or answered correctly cannot be returned 2 during the round. After the first person plays a round, the answers to the missed or past questions are reviewed, and the other is given 60 seconds to answer the same 10 questions. If the contestant answers more questions correctly than the host, the contestant wins the entire $25,000 grand prize that the host put into the bank at the beginning of the show. If the host answers more questions correctly, the contestant keeps only the money won in the first 2 rounds. If the round ends in a tie, the contestant wins an additional $5,000. Well, that's Win Ben Stein's money for y'all. But since this is a 30-minute run, why not 2 games in 1 hour? I'm so surprised that Ben Stein was still alive at this time. He was 80 years old. Let's talk about another game show revival that I wanted to see. The next revival should be added is Tattletales. No, not this Tattletale, that Tattletale. The game show, not a survival horror game. We are so back with the Buzzr game shows that needed to be revived, like Concentration, Cell of the Century, and others. This show involved questions asked about celebrity couples' personal lives and was based on He Said, She Said, a syndicated Goodson Totman show hosted by Joe Garagiola back in the 70s. In order to dedicate Bert Convey's fantastic show, this show will be hosted by Mac Brayer. Give credit to Antonia Carr Santiago 2500 for the comment. Let's see how this format works. Wait a second, is there a revival of this game show before? On HBO Max called About Last Night, hosted by Ayesha and Stephen Curry? Kinda. However, this show only lasted 2 seasons before HBO Max removes the show, known as Max nowadays. Anyways, let's see how the real revival of Tattletales work. There's 2 formats in this show, but we'll mostly focus on the second format, since I believe is the most recent and successful one. Let's not waste time, here we go. The show's set consisted of 2 parts. One was the desk behind which 3 players could sit. The other was a small seating area in the upstakes right corner of the stage, which was used to keep the players not in the game isolated. A sliding wall covered the seating area during gameplay, and each player had a set of headphones to block out any noise from the other side of the wall. Usually, the game began with the husbands isolated and the wives on stage. When needed, the offstage players will appear on monitors in front of their spouses. There's going to be at least 3 questions. Each question had a pot of $150 split along all couples who matched $50. If all 3 matched, $75 if 2 matched, and $150 if only 1 couple matched. If no one matched, the amount of the pot was added to the next question. The husbands were first asked 2 questions, after which the players changed places prior to the second round. The wives were then asked 2 more questions, with the value of the final question doubled to $300. The couple with the most money at the end of the show won the game, earning their section a $2,000 bonus. In the event of a tie, the winning sections divided the $2,000 bonus. Yes, $2,000 instead of the regular $1,000 due to the inflation this year. A member of the winning section will also randomly drawn to win additional prizes. Audience members received their winnings in checks distributed as they left the studio. They should keep the same sound effects from The Price is Right, and coincidentally, ABC revived Pressure Lock and Match Game despite these classic shows being aired on CBS. Maybe Tattletales will be the third one to be revived after CBS's run. We'll find out. Let's talk about the next game. Well, it's been 90 years since we have a classic game by the Parker brothers, known as Hasbro nowadays. And it's been 10 years since I've seen this syndicated game show. This also comes with a lottery ticket. Despite being flagged by low ticket sales, it's time for Monopoly Millionaires Club. Yep, that's right. It might not happen, but hear me out, guys. This show used to be on syndication somewhere in 2015 to 2016, everyone. This show was hosted by Billy Gardell. And surprisingly, unlike other older hosts from the 70s and the 2000s, he's alive at the time. Plus, a co-host named Todd Newton. Surprisingly, he was also in Whammy, the all-new Pressure Lock-On Game Show Network. As for the hostess, is Karina Rico. This revival, which is not gonna happen, will be hosted by Gabriel Iglesias, known as Fluffy, and as for the co-host, who is from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Rob McElhenney. Hostess should be Sherry Shepherd from The View. Let's see how this revival works. Each episode featured winners of a second chance drawing through an online website who were flown to Las Vegas to participate in the show. Contestants, each selected from a different section of the audience, played a series of games that each offered a top prize of $100,000. Those games are Ride the Rails, Block Party, No Vacancy, Community Chess, Bank Buster, Park It, Electric Company, and Advance to Boardwalk. Well, all of these 8 games have won at least $100,000. Except for No Vacancy, because they didn't have a $100,000 after their 25 episodes. This reminds me of BFBI 18 with Robati and Teapot 1 with Robert Spatula again. Let's continue with this format. Every contestant played a different game and kept half of his/her winnings, with the other half split equally among the drawing winners in his/her section. 8 different $100,000 games were played over the course of the series. Episodes were originally taped at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino and featured 5 games per hour-long episode. The audience was split into 5 sections: Battleship, Boot, Cat, Dog, and Wheelbarrow, all named after tokens in the classic US version of Monopoly. Residents of states that did not sell lottery tickets during the period of the show's production were not eligible to participate in the program. Additionally, during each episode, the co-host chose a contestant to play a short game for up to $10,000. 2 games are going to be played in this revival, since most of the game shows are hour-long when it comes to prime time schedule. Contestants in these games kept their winnings for themselves, but were not eligible to play for the $1 million grand prize. Now, let's talk about this bonus game known as Go for $1 Million. At the end of each episode, one contestant will be able to play Go for $1 Million, giving up all previous winnings, including the portion shared with the audience section the contestant represented, for a chance to win up to $1 million in cash and additional prizes. The contestant who decided to give up the most money will get to play this round, while all other contestants kept their respective winnings. The contestants started at Go and attempted to make one full up of the Monopoly board within 5 turns. 2 dice were rolled on a shaker table, referred to as the Monopoly Rollin' Rocker. The contestant stopped it by pushing a button and moved clockwise according to the totals shown. Rolling doubles awarded an extra roll. Property spaces awarded varying cash amounts, starting at $2,000 for Baltic Avenue. Landing on Mediterranean Avenue was not possible due to being only 1 space away from Go, and increasing clockwise to $40,000 for Boardwalk. Other spaces awarded prizes or triggered minigames that could award cash and prizes or penalize the contestant. The game ended immediately and the contestant lost all cash and prizes if any of the following occurred. Number 1, landing directly on the Go to Jail space. Number 2, rolling 3 consecutive doubles. And number 3, flipping a Go to Jail card from chance or community chest. Running out of turns without reaching Go or going to jail or landing on luxury tax split the final cash prize total with the contestant's audience section and allowed the contestant to keep all non-cash prizes. Passing Go augmented the cash total to $200,000 or up to $350,000 for this revival, which was split with the section. Landing on Go exactly either by dice roll or flipping an advance to Go card from card or community chest augmented the contestant's cash total to $1 million and split the audience jackpot among the section. Winning the top prize also awarded The contestant a shiny, diamond-encrusted Mr. Monopoly top hat and a membership at the Monopoly Millionaires Club. 10 years ago, had won this prize throughout the show's run. It was a very impressive game show despite this show didn't last long and lasted 25 episodes and 2 seasons. That was very impressive at the time. Let's move on to our last and final game show to be revived. Speaking of game shows that didn't last long but ended up well, the last game show that I wanted to see return, which is my personal favorite of the year, is this show took off the air since 1983 all the way to 2021. After 2 years of the comedy show Alice for 2 years. And on top of that, it's just the reruns because CBS ran out of ideas. This show caught my attention since 2022 when I saw this comment, a tragedy moment for the ABC Summer Fun and Games block and the death of Gilbert Gottfried as well since April 2022. 2 tragedy strikes in 1 month is just too sad when it comes to game shows. I watched this show and that gave me an idea. Let's reboot it. This show will be hosted by Chrissy Teigen. Yep, a female model from the original deal since 2007. Let's talk about the format. Here's how this works. The game board consisted of 5 rows levels of 5 squares each, with values from $10 to $50 in $10 increments, and a 6th level of 3 squares with values of $200, $350, and $500. Levels were numbered from the bottom of the board, working upward. 2 contestants, or during the later half of the run, 2 teams of a celebrity and a civilian were told the categories for the first 2 rounds of play at the start of the match. Since ABC's Summer Fun and Games never includes returning champions, let's do this the other way. The winner of a coin toss decided whether to play as the charger or the blocker for the first round, and the champions took the other role. The charger was led off stage to a soundproof booth, and the blocker then placed 6 blocks on the board. Up to 3 blocks could be placed on any of the first 5 levels and no more than 1 on the 6th. The charger was brought back on stage and given 60 seconds to advance through all 6 levels by correcting bloopers or factual statements in which 1 word had been changed. Example, the B&D was the first American passenger smell with railroad as a correct answer. The charger started on level 1 by choosing one of its squares. If a blooper was hidden there, it was revealed on the spaces trillion and read out. The incorrect word was marked with an underline and was the only part that the charger needed to correct. A correct answer added the value to the charger score for the match and allowed him/her to move to the next level, while a miss or failure to respond within 3 seconds required him/her to choose another square. Uncovering a block added the amount to the blocker's score and incurred a 5-second penalty before the charger could continue. If a charger revealed all the squares on a level without a correct answer, the level was exhausted and the charger was allowed to advance. If the charger believed that he/she was running short on time and had not yet reached level 6, he/she should call a long shot. The clock was stopped, the charger immediately advanced to level 6, and the blocker hit 1 secret block on that level in addition to the one that may have already been placed there. The charger then selected 1 square and attempted to correct its blooper if 1 was hidden there. The charger won the run by either clearing all 6 levels or successfully completing a long shot. If the charger ran out of time or either hit a block or failed to correct a blooper after calling a long shot, the blocker won the round. The charger could not call a long shot after reaching level 6 or during the 5-second penalty for hitting a block, but could do so at any other time, even while a blooper was read. The contestants traded positions for the second round. The first contestant to win 2 rounds won the money accumulated from charging and blocking and advanced to the Gauntlet of Villains. The runner-up received consolation prizes. Since this is a 30-minute show, let's put 2 games in 1 hour, shall we? Now, let's talk about the bonus round known as the Gauntlet of Villains. The contestants stood at the beginning of a path lined with 10 cardboard caricatures of stereotypical villains, each with one arm raised as the barrier. He/she had 60 seconds plus 1 extra second for every $1,000 earned in the main game to reach the end of the path by correcting bloopers. If the contestant either responded incorrectly or failed to respond within 2 seconds, the correct answer was shown on a small screen and beat it in the correct villain's chest, and the host read a new blooper. A correct response led to the villain's arm being lowered so that the contestant could advance to the next one. The contestant won $1,000 for each villain pass, or $25,000 for completing the gauntlet. The 10 villains in the gauntlet were, from start to finish, Alphonse the Gangster, Bruno the Headsman, Mr. Van Loos the Landlord, Nero the Fiddler, Count Nibbleneck the Vampire, Frank and his little friend Stein, Kid Ron the Gunslinger, Jeremy Swash the Pirate, Dr. Derange the Mad Scientist, and Lucretia the Witch. And that's how you attempt to revive a very forgotten show, being now loved nowadays and should brought back after 45 years on television. And that's all for the game shows that I'd like to see return. Do you still have any more ideas for these classic game shows that will be brought back on ABC's Summer Fun and Game schedule? If you do, leave a comment and share. I hope you had a great day. Next time, I'll talk about summer schedules. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. This is Objective 36 signing off, and we'll see you in part 4.